So welcome to our Diwali special. It's a hot and humid day, and we are going to begin our first comparison by comparing three premium hatchbacks. So the newest one is of course the i20 Elite from Hyundai, and the closest competitors are the Maruti Suzuki Swift, the long-standing segment leader, and the Volkswagen Polo. So we're going to be comparing these cars on various parameters, and Rohit is going to help me along the way. So Rohit, let's start talking about the design aspect of these cars. Now the i20 Elite is the newest car of the lot.
Exactly, and it's a big design change overall compared to the earlier i20 as well.
Yeah.
It's not just that fluidic design philosophy, it's a departure from that. It's the new Storm Edge design as what Hyundai is calling it. And these two on the other hand, the Polo's just got a facelift, but it just doesn't look that different.
Yeah.
It still looks like the older Polo.
And on the other hand, when the Swift was launched, it was
Yeah.
quite radical, but now it's been quite a long time since it's been there in the market. So
Exactly.
it's about time that they actually updated that design. So I think in the exterior design department, the i20 is an absolute stunner. When we move on to the interiors as well, I think that carries forward as well, because the i20 has a completely new interior as well. And when you compare it to the Polo, which does have the European design and excellent build quality, and the Swift, which is equally well appointed, but the i20 just gets a host of features that the others just don't have.
Yeah, that just set it apart. And so in terms of build quality, there is no give and take here. They're, I think, all very well appointed, but the design and the features just set the i20 apart yet again.
And it's not just the creature comforts, as you said, but it's also the interior space. Now, I think the other two cars that we have over here, the Polo and the Swift in the past, have been criticized for the lack of
rear leg room, and yeah, it's the same. It continues because they are still just facelifts, but I think
and the i20 gets a much longer wheelbase, and that translates into a lot of interior space. Well, that's the design, but of course these cars are meant to be driven. So let's talk about the driving aspect of these cars. Which is the more fun to drive car, and which is the easier to drive off the lot?
I think here the Polo is way ahead of the i20 or the Swift, the way it handles the kind of engine that it has, and it also comes with a really good package when it comes to suspension or the overall steering feedback. So it's a nice package overall. It's a nice hunkered down car. It's visible, and it's also evident when you're driving it. So in terms of stability and the fun to drive aspect, I think the Polo just gets it absolutely right with everything.
But we are eagerly awaiting the new Swift, because well, we all know that the Swift is a driver's car, and it has been so since the time that it was launched. The new i20, while it's not the best handling car out here, it's not the most fun to drive car out here, but when you compare it to other cars in the Hyundai portfolio and the previous generation of the i20, it is a phenomenal step forward in terms of both the driving feel from the engine, the feedback from the steering wheel, which is always a problem, the high-speed stability, which again has come a really long way. And I think overall the driving characteristic of this car is nothing like you've seen in the past from Hyundai. This balance once again between the ride quality and the handling department, I think the Polo once again does it for me.
Yes, like we said in our review on Overdrive, it is the new benchmark for the segment when it comes to ride quality. They've just got it spot on with the new suspension setup. The thudding sounds, the crashing sounds, they're all gone, and it also translates to a really nice, smooth ride no matter what sort of surfaces you're driving on in India. The i20, it is a good car, but then the Polo just is a few notches ahead when it comes to the ride comfort.
Now, we've spoken about all these aspects concerning these hatchbacks, but when it comes to the Indian market and, well, hatchbacks in the Indian market, we just simply have to talk about this one, the most predominant feature, which is, well, the value for money proposition. And Rohit, what do you think about these three cars in terms of value for money?
Value for money, I think, has always been Hyundai's forte, and they continue that with the new i20 as well. Out of these three, and in fact, in the entire the premium hatchback segment, the i20 is the most expensive when you consider the top-end version. But the kind of value that it offers for that money is really phenomenal, because the amount of features that it packs in, it's like a sedan without a boot. It's giving you all the features of a sedan in that tiny hatchback body. So I think it really packs in a lot of value.
Well, the other thing that we also need to talk about when we talk about value for money proposition is not just what you pay for the car, but what you also pay after you buy the car, which is, well, the cost of ownership.
Yep.
So on one hand, you have a fantastic car in the Volkswagen Polo, which is a great fun to drive car, very well built. But at the end of the day, it's a Volkswagen and it's competing with the likes of a Maruti Suzuki and a Hyundai.
Yes, but that said, these are premium hatchbacks, and even Maruti and Hyundai do charge a premium on the spare parts cost, on the service cost, as compared to the other hatchbacks that they have on offer. So yes, it's definitely more expensive to maintain the Swift or the i20 compared to the other Maruti or Hyundai hatchbacks, but it's certainly not as expensive as a Polo, and that's, I think, the only fly in the ointment for the Volkswagen Polo here.
Well, I think there you have it. So in terms of the fact that the i20 being an all new car, and we've not had a new Swift since a very long time now, and the Polo update, it's got a fantastic engine, but in terms of design, it's not just that substantial an update. So I think considering all these things and the fact that, like we said, the value for money proposition, I think the new Elite i20 most certainly just edges past the others in this segment, doesn't it?
It does. So despite being premium, it is still the most bang for the buck.